Hi, boys and girls. Today in CKLA, we're going to read the story called The Ham from the Cat Bandit. Today, you will be reading the story The Ham. Let's find the page the story starts on at the table of contents. Here's our table of contents, The Cat Bandit, and The Ham. It's on page 16. Let's go back and find out a little bit more about this story, though. We're going to preview the vocabulary. One of the words you might hear is the word tug. And if you look at this picture, these people are really tugging on the rope. They're pulling really hard. They're pulling. To tug something is to pull in a hard way, to pull. What might this story be about based on the title? It's called The Ham. So I'm thinking, we also know about this cat bandit from previous stories, that he loves to steal food because he's a bandit. He's a thief or a robber of food. So I'm thinking he's going to find this ham. He's going to smell the ham, and then he might find a creative plan to get to the ham. We'll have to find out. Let's read today's story to see if our predictions are correct. I'm going to go back to our story. Let's read it once together. You're going to have to do your reread time later too. So make sure you reread the story later. Let me just go back into go back into this. And it said page 16. So I just want to find the ham. Oh, there it is. Let me just lower it a little bit so I have checked the page number. And I'll make my screen just a little larger. The ham. Mom left a pink ham sitting in a big black pan. The cat bandit was resting on a quilt when he got a whiff of the ham. What was that smell? It was ham! Where was the ham? The cat bandit set off, sniffing as he went. He went on sniffing until he spotted the ham. But the ham was up on top. How was he going to get it down? That was the problem. Let me just scroll to make sure I've read all of those words. Yep. The cat bandit ran to the closet and got a belt. Then he ran to the shed and got a strong magnet. He stuck the magnet on the end of the belt. The magnet stuck to the belt. Then the cat bandit swung the belt. Cling! The magnet on the end of the belt hit the pan, and it stuck. In a flash, the cat bandit was tugging on the belt. Tug, tug, tug. Yank, yank, yank! At last the pan slid off. It fell down and landed with a clang. Then, munch, munch, munch. That was the end of the ham. I love how the author always says, munch, munch, munch. That was the end of the whatever the cat bandit stole. Okay, I'm going to go back to our other screen. Let's think, were our predictions, was Mrs. Jewett's predictions right? I used previous knowledge from the story, so I knew that cat was going to be a thief or a robber. And I used the title to help me know what he might steal. So I think using those predictions, things we know from the past, or things we know in our head, and then using the title and maybe even illustrations might help us to know what make good predictions when we're reading. Let's look at our discussion questions. And again, we're going to need to, if we need to look back at the story for information, we can do that. But we also want to make sure we're answering the questions in reflective answers, meaning that we're trying to use the question in a complete sentence to answer. Based on the last few stories that we have read, what words could you use to describe the cat bandit? I'm going to think for a moment, and then I'm going to try to put it in a reflective sentence. The words I would use to describe the cat bandit are. The words I would use to describe the cat bandit are. He's a planner. He's creative. He's always hungry. He's sneaky. So those might be some good words used to describe the cat bandit. Why do you think the cat bandit prefers human food over cat food? Again, a reflective answer might be, I think the cat bandit prefers human food over cat food because... I'll let you answer that. I think the cat bandit prefers human food over cat food because... I don't know what you said, but I think it might be because it tastes better and it smells really good. What ideas do you have about how the family could keep that cat bandit from getting their food in the future? The family could blank. We'll keep this one short. The family could blank to keep the cat bandit from getting their food in the future. I'll let you answer it. The cat bandit, or the family, might put it in the refrigerator or lock it up in the pantry or put it in cupboards that close tightly. So think about what you would do if you had this sneaky cat. How would you prevent that cat from stealing your food? Number 4, if you had a pet like this at home, what would you do? If I had a pet like this at home, I would answer it in your head or answer it out loud. If I had a pet like this at home, I would... And there is a family letter of spelling that I need you to make sure that you put in a very safe spot. It was sent home with you. It might be in your packet that was sent home, or it is sent home separately. Put this in a very safe spot, and remember, we're going to be practicing on whiteboards, but it's really important to practice at home as well. Because we usually give the words out and then we have a week to practice and then we'll have that quiz. But it's always good to get good study habits by getting that whiteboard out, maybe someone asking you the word, sounding it out, writing it. I always say also a fun way to other way to practice writing your spelling words is also on paper. You could rainbow write the words. It's a fun thought. You could type the words into like your computer. That might be a fun way to practice them too and get better at your typing skills. Okay, well, enjoy going into your Google Classroom and checking out what else you have to do for the day.